Would you say anxiety and fear of rejection is like most guys' biggest issue when it comes to talking to women?
Yeah, I think it's a big problem. And I think when you go in and, take more of an indirect approach where you're not over communicating interest, you don't set yourself up for rejection, right? Like if you go in and tell a girl how beautiful she is, or you ask her out on a date, or you ask her for a number, it's kind of like a binary response. She either has to accept or reject. And usually women's default setting is to reject. So I think that,
Even if they like you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, they're just used to it. And then they expect the guy to chase, and then eventually they'll, whatever, but they keep the guy chasing. And that's what these books, like The Rules and all these, books that these women have, it teaches them to do is to keep the guy chasing. And that just puts them in a massive position of power because their flaws disappear and that guy's flaws magnify. And I just don't want to see guys in that position because it's unnecessary. Like you can go in, you can open the interaction, you can start talking to a girl without letting her know. Like it's like playing poker and these guys just like want to fucking flip their cards over. And it's like a lot harder to fucking win in poker when everybody can see your fucking cards.
You mentioned something that's very interesting about the rules and girls reading books. I think this is something that needs to be talked about more. Like guys don't understand that like women actually like read books and practice this crap. Like they don't like a lot of guys go in clueless, but like girls, number one, they already deal with men all the time, and then number two, a lot of them talk to each other about this very thing, and there's books on it. Like, can you talk about that a little bit? Like how educated women really are when it comes to like finessing men, dating them, extracting value without necessarily giving value back?
Yeah, I mean, to give the poker analogy again, it's like, women are playing poker and they're just seeing everybody's cards. Well, you get better at poker if you knew everybody's fucking card and then you saw every time somebody's bluff. You know what I mean? You just learn faster. And I feel like that's what happens to women. Like from the time they're like 13, 14 years old, like all these guys are hitting on them, communicating interest, letting them know like, hey, I want to sleep with you. And when they do that, then it's like, okay, they correlate all these things the guys do with a guy wanting to sleep with them. So they're just more socially calibrated. And the way I would, explain it for a guy is it's like the guy just goes in the gym, sees a heavy bag and starts hitting the heavy bag. Well, if you hit a heavy bag for 10,000 hours, you're not going to be a fucking great boxer. But if you get some fucking coaching and some training and you spend fucking 100 hours, you're going to be better than that guy that spent 10,000 hours just drilling in all the fucking bad techniques and all the wrong shit. I think that's what guys do is like, and it's good to have volume. Like it's good to just get out there and fucking do this stuff. But if you don't do it correctly, you're just, your chances of success are going to fucking go down dramatically. And that's true of anything. Fucking golf, I just don't understand why guys will take fucking direction with golf and fucking badminton or ping pong or whatever the fuck ever, chess. They get coaching for everything other than the most important thing that they're fucking doing, which is, choosing their fucking lifelong partner or the girl that they're dating or whoever you're spending the most time with, and that's going to be your girlfriend, your wife, whatever, or somebody you have kids with and now you're stuck with them whether you like it or not for the next 18 fucking years. That's like a pretty important thing. And I feel like guys just assume like, oh, like I got this or I know what the fuck to do. And they just don't.
Yeah, they don't. And it's even worse because like you mentioned all those hours. Like if you mentioned like practice all these hours with bad technique, it's going to like set in and it's way harder to unlearn a bad habit than to learn a new one.
Yeah, like taking a guy that's never done any fucking boxing and just teaching them proper technique from the start is easier than like having them unlearn all the mistakes that they've been making. So, well, I think a guy that goes out and just, has a bunch of experience is going to be better off than a guy that doesn't do anything. I'm just saying like there's a version where you can learn the right thing to do and then put in fucking time and get there a lot faster. I'm all about like doing the least amount of effort and getting the most amount of volume in the shortest period of time possible. And it's like, I want them to have as many positive interactions as possible because that's going to give them more confidence. More confidence yields better results. It's kind of like a snowball that can go in one direction or it can go the fucking other.
Yeah.
And most guys, it goes the fucking wrong direction and then they just, convince themselves I'm not good looking, enough for women or women don't like me or whatever. And they're right, but the difference is like they can do something about that. And I think that's one thing that guys don't understand is like, women can't really make themselves that much better looking. Like they can do a little bit of stuff. If they're born ugly, they're kind of fucked. If a guy's born ugly, he's still like
we can make up in other ways.
He's good.
This
like
is true.
Elon's not good looking. Like Seth Rogen's fucking ugly. Like there's plenty of ugly guys that get a ton of pussy.
Yep.
And there's just like there's 12 different attraction triggers that you can fucking implement. And like pre-selection is one that a lot of guys don't understand. That's one that I use like.
One of the best. You're one of the best guys when it comes to pre-selection by far.
Buddy, I could go into a club with 2 or 3 girls that really wanted to fuck me, that I had been fucking, that were all over me, and just literally like point at other girls. They didn't even know who the fuck I was, but because hot girls were interested in me, and obviously that's not like a easily transferable one to other guys, but there's different versions of that. Like you can elicit jealousy pretty fucking easily just on your story, just making girls think about you. Like let's say you're out at a fucking bar and you take a picture of a martini glass and your beer. Girls are going to wonder, like, oh, who is he with? You know what I mean? Like, And that's a pretty easy thing to do. So you don't have to have 3 girls lining up to fuck you to implement pre-selection and jealousy and a lot of things that are like really powerful for getting a girl to want to sleep with you.